Welcome to the 2022 NSAA Speech Championships Best of the Best. I'm your host, Erica Nett. Today you'll see 10 champions from this year's state competition performing their amazing winning speeches here in studio. First, let's chat with Nebraska School Activities Association Assistant Director Jeff Staus about the state speech and the students chosen for this show. Jeff, thank you for being here. We are so excited for today.
Really appreciate you having me here, and more importantly, the kids. They're going to showcase their talents here as we move throughout the day.
How many students are competing at the state championships, and how many schools are represented?
So we had just over 200 schools that were a part of our state speech competition, and nearly 1,100 kids were a part. So it was a long 3 days of competition in Kearney, but it was a great 3 days of competition as well.
And how did you choose the performances that we're going to see today?
We really try to make sure that we have representation of all 6 classes of competition, as well as all 6 of our geographical districts throughout the state. So what you're going to see today is the talents of kids from literally every corner of the state of Nebraska.
That's great. We're really looking forward to it. How much time and effort goes into these performances, and how long is the season?
So the easy answer is countless hours. These kids have been going, some of them since November, all the way into the middle of March. And for our smaller schools, a lot of these kids are basketball players. They're wrestlers as well. So they're spending a lot of time perfecting their craft, and you're going to see that talent today.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here. When we return, we'll get started with serious prose and duet acting performances. Stay with us.
This is a growing corn plant. It's not battery-powered. It doesn't have a 300-mile range, but it's vital in our fight against climate change. Reducing 46% of carbon emissions and producing clean-burning ethanol. Corn ethanol is the climate solution we need now.
Welcome back. Before each performance, we'll help you learn more about each of the 10 speech categories, with explanations from other students who participated at the state championships. First up, interpretation of serious prose.
Serious prose is a 10-minute speech that you give. It can either be a monologue, which is one person talking in the first person, talking about themselves, or it can be a third-person perspective. It can also have multiple characters that you differentiate between voices and postures and the way that you speak.
Here's Grayson Hahn of Tri-County High School with his Class C1 winning interpretation of serious prose speech, Voices of Chernobyl.
How can I desert you? How to tell you why? Coachman, hold the horses. Stay, I pray you. I heard it. At least, I think I did. We lived on the 9th floor of our building. I stepped out onto the small balcony. The light coming from the reactor was so bright. It was an indescribable color. A glow, really. Natasha, Vasily, come, look at the light. No, they need to go to sleep. Come away from the window, Nikolai. I don't like it. Something is wrong. Oh, shh, shh, shh. It's just the light from the reactor. My God, Nikolai, the light is touching the sky. Yes, it is beautiful. My wife left the balcony and I noticed the ash, black dust really, on my hands. It was covering the railing, covering the entire balcony. And I realized covering me. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine was the site of a disastrous accident in 1986 when 2 massive explosions blew the 1,000-ton roof off one of the plant's reactors, releasing 400 times more radiation than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, Japan in World War II. And given the recent seizure of Ukrainian land by the tyrannical Russian government, it is all the more important that we remember the effects that this life-shattering disaster had on so many people. In this book, Voices of Chernobyl, Svetlana collected interviews from survivors 10 years after the disaster. Sadly, most of her subjects are no longer with us. Voices of Chernobyl by Svetlana Alexievich. I want to bear witness. It happened to me 10 years ago. We lived in the town of Pripyat. My mind is still not capable of understanding it. There you are, a normal person. You are just like everyone else. You go to work, you come home from work. And then one day, you are turned into a Chernobyl person. Like an animal. An animal that everyone is interested in, but knows nothing about. You want to be like everyone else. But now, that is impossible. When people learn you are from Chernobyl, everything changes. They look at you differently. The very word Chernobyl is like signal. Everyone turns their head to look. He's from there. He's poison. That's how it was in the beginning. We didn't just lose our towns, our homes. We lost our entire lives. The reactor was on fire. It was an indescribable smell. I'm only going to tell you what's really mine, my own truth. They announced over the radio that you couldn't bring your cats, but my little daughter begged me. Please, Papa, we can't leave Minka. He needs me. So we put him in a suitcase, but he didn't want to go. He got out and he ran like crazy and he scratched everyone. My poor little Natasha. She cried and cried. That goddamn cat. He broke my poor baby's heart. And he scratched my arms to pieces. Goddamn cat. They moved us from village to village, each one just a bit farther from the reactor. They told the men that they needed us to work, to start cleanup. The motherland needed us. They wanted to send us back to the villages we just came from. We spent the day riding to the villages measuring radiation. The village men would come up to us, offer us some vodka, some lard. Let's eat. So I drink my vodka, but I don't eat. When the work in the villages was done, we came home. I took off all the clothes I'd worn and I threw them down the trash chute. But I gave my cap to my little son. He really wanted it, and he wore it on his head all of the time. 2 years later, they gave him a diagnosis. A tumor in his brain. A year later, I took my wife and daughter to the hospital. They had these black spots all over their bodies. These spots would appear and disappear. The doctors did some tests on them, and I asked for the results. It's not for you, they say. Then for who, I ask? My daughter was 6 years old. I'm putting her to bed, and she whispers to me, Papa, I want to live. I'm still little. And I thought she didn't understand anything. Can you picture 7 little girls shaved bald in one room? There were 7 of them in that hospital room. But enough. I cannot talk about it. When I talk about it, my heart tells me you are betraying them. Because I have to describe it like I am a stranger. When my wife came home from the hospital, she couldn't take it anymore. It would be better for her to die than to suffer like this. Or for me to die, so that I don't have to watch anymore. But enough. I'm in no condition to speak of these things. Papa, I don't feel good. I'm scared, Papa. Where is Minka? I want Minka. Goddamn cat. While in the hospital with Natasha, there is a woman right outside our room screaming, "Take his medals! Take his benefits! Just give me my husband!" She yelled a long time. My baby girl is covered in boils. Her skin peels off in pieces that stick to her blanket. She soils herself constantly, not with stool, but with blood and mucus instead of stool. I whispered to her, "Minka is probably living in the forest, king of all cats." She smiles. She closes her eyes, and I think she is going to sleep. Did your wife leave you? The nurses ask me later. Yes, but it's not how you think. She went to be with her son, I say. Oh, they say. I am not lying. She went to the forest and put my old belt around her neck. She couldn't watch Natasha die, too. She went to be with our Vasily. Papa, am I dead already? No, my love. You are strong and beautiful. You stay here with your papa. I want Mama. I know, my love. I know. Natasha, baby, wake up. Natasha, open your eyes. Natasha. Natasha! Natasha! Stay, I pray you. I want to bear witness. My daughter died from Chernobyl. And they want us to just forget about it. We are lonely. We are strangers here. They even bury us separately, not like they do other people. It is like we are from outer space. Let me have a moment. Let me say goodbye to bridge and river, forest and waterfall, orchard, sea and sky. Harsh and sweet and bitter to leave it all. I'll bless my homeland till I die.
I'm here with Coach Kelly Smith and Grayson. Grayson, that was a wonderful and emotional performance.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you get yourself ready for that kind of performance?
Well, Nikolai is a father, so I don't personally know what he feels and can't share his pain, obviously, but I try to think about the people in my life who would be able to feel that pain, and I try and think about it through their point of view and kind of step into their shoes. I think of my father. I think about what it would be like to lose some of the children in my life. I think about my nieces and nephew, so.
And why did you pick that particular piece?
Well, it was kind of luck because I ended up changing it to where it was really nice that it applied to the current world situation between Russia and Ukraine. So I'm lucky to have a wonderful coach who is wonderful at selecting pieces, and she helped me select this, and we kind of combed through it, and she helped me figure out what pieces and people we wanted to do from those interviews that Svetlana collected, and we ended up changing the intro to have the part about Chernobyl, or about Ukraine. So it was just an excellent selection by her part, really.
Well, speaking of your wonderful coach, Kelly, you've worked with Grayson for 4 years.
Yes.
What has it been like to work with him throughout his high school career?
Grayson has just been a blessing to have as a student and as a performer. He has been on stage for us in fall play, in one act, and in speech as well. I always felt like since he was a freshman that this was coming, that we would get to this point of where I was not surprised that he was a state champion. As I told you earlier, we felt badly about the whole COVID situation when we lost, when you were a sophomore. Yes. We didn't get to have state speech, and we felt like we were on a roll there with his duet. And so this was kind of redemption, if you will. We felt like we got to where we wanted to be this whole time. He is a kid that is capable of doing any accent at any time, and he's extremely humorous, very funny, great sense of humor. So everyone always expected to see him in humorous pieces and funny things, which he's great at. But we really wanted to stretch him a little bit and try to do a serious piece so that we could really show what his range was.
Yeah, well, this was really wonderful. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Our next category is duet acting.
Duo interpretation is an event with two people in which we do a 10-minute play. It can be comedic or dramatic.
What I personally like about duet acting more than anything is that you get a lot more freedom in what you do. We get to write our own scripts and also choose what we want to do. We get to choose different forms of media that we like. For example, we've done the Bee Movie, and we've had a lot of fun with it.
Tyler Bowie and Cole Story of Wausau High School were the Class D1 duet acting champions. They'll perform Brutally Honest Life Coach.
I hate shopping for...
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Anything I can help you with?
I don't understand the sign that you have there. Honesty for $5. What does that mean?
Well, it means for $5 you can ask me any question and I will give you a completely honest answer.
Ooh, I just asked you a question and I didn't give you any money. Does that mean your answer was a lie?
No, that was just a free sample, just like the answer I'm giving you right now.
How many free samples do I get?
That'll be $5.
So 2 free samples.
You catch on quick.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Cool, buddy old pal. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah?
This haircut
Yeah?
is out of style.
What? Well, that shirt makes you look fat.
That hurt my feelings.
Well, honesty can be painful.
Oh, that's why they put brutal in front of it.
As much as we value the opinions of our friends and family, they can't always tell us what they need to hear.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was someone that did tell us what we needed to hear? Enter a life coach.
An honest life coach.
Brutally Honest Life Coach by Bradley Walton.
I was really torn as to whether I should buy the shirt that I'm wearing. Does it look okay on me?
The plaid on that shirt makes you look like a fungus-covered apple.
Wow! Oh, that was brutal.
I'm brutally honest.
Well, no one's ever said anything like that to me before.
Did you like it?
Well, it was refreshing, but also really painful.
Truth frequently hurts.
Now I feel like such a pathetic human being.
Are you asking for my opinion?
Okay. No, I'm out of $5 bills. Unless you have change for 100?
You're in luck. Today is Monday, and it just so happens that I have a Monday special. $100 for a completely honest 30-minute conversation and a complimentary hand massage.
For real?
That'll be $100.
Sure!
Woo! All right.
Do I get back the money that I already gave you?
No.
Oh. Do you think that I'm pathetic?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it! That's exactly what I've suspected all along. I feel so lost and directionless. You have to help me.
I am.
No, I mean really help me. Don't just tell me what I need to hear. Teach me how to improve. Be my life coach!
Whoa! Whoa. Life coach?
Yeah.
I don't think you know what you're asking for. It wouldn't be pleasant.
I don't need pleasant, I need results.
You do realize that I would charge more for this kind of service?
Do you take credit cards?
Not yet. I'm hoping to maybe get that in sometime next week.
But I don't have any more money on me.
Well, we could convert the remaining 28 minutes of your honest conversation and complimentary hand massage to a 7-minute life coaching session.
Oh, yes, let's do that. Oh, thank you.
Are you sure you're up for this?
I'm ready.
Alrighty then.
Lay it on me.
Stand on one foot.
What?
Stand on one foot.
Are you serious?
I thought you said you were up for this.
Oh, no, I am. See? I'm on one foot.
Huh. I didn't think you'd actually go through with it.
Am I missing something?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to tell me what you were missing.
Well, you implied that standing on one foot is difficult or dangerous.
Did I?
Kind of.
Does that imply danger? Or does it imply that I wasn't sure you'd actually go through with it?
I don't know.
Do you know what else you don't know?
Well, no.
Well, then there we go.
There we go. What?
We've exposed your vast ignorance.
We have?
The appropriate response is thank you.
Thank you. Can I please put my foot down now?
No, the appropriate response is not thank you. Can I please put my foot down now? It's just thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Can I please put my foot down now?
Do you think we're done?
Oh, this is gonna get harder, isn't it?
Much harder. All right, listen carefully.
Okay.
Put your foot down.
Like this?
Was there another way to do it?
Well, you said listen carefully. I just wanted to make sure I got it right.
Did you listen carefully?
Well, yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, you know, pretty sure.
But not 100% sure?
I guess not.
Do you need me to repeat what I said?
Possibly.
Fine. My exact words were put your foot down.
So I did it right?
We're moving on.
You're not going to tell me if I did it right?
Did you put your foot down?
Well, yes.
What else do you need to know?
If I put it down correctly.
Is the assurance really that important to you?
Yes!
Why?
Because I'm pathetic.
You're pathetic because even though putting your foot down is so impossibly simple, you're afraid you might have done it wrong? Or you're pathetic because you need the assurance that you did such a simple thing correctly?
I was thinking in terms of that first one, but since you threw the second one in there too, I'm
Gonna have to go with both.
I think you might have gotten more pathetic since this whole life coaching thing sort of started.
I can feel myself slipping away. You have to help me.
I'm trying.
Well, try harder.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Like I said, this will not be pleasant.
I need to not be so pathetic.
Fine. Then do exactly as I say.
Wait!
What?
You never told me if I put my foot down correctly.
We're moving on!
Oh, but I have to know!
The universe is filled with infinite secrets beyond the comprehensions of our mortal mind.
That's so unfair. What happened to honesty?
I'm still being honest. But as your life coach, I get to choose which questions get straight answers.
Being life coach is hard.
You were warned. Now, stand on one foot.
Again?
Yes.
The same foot or the other one?
You have to choose.
What happens if I choose wrong?
I don't know. What do you think will happen?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
What do you think might happen?
I could regret it for the rest of my life.
I bet you could.
What if I can't choose?
You must choose.
No, but it's such an enormous decision.
Every decision is an enormous decision.
Really?
Yes.
What about, the color of my socks in the morning?
What day is it?
Monday.
What month is it?
April.
What day of the month?
The 4th.
What year is it?
2022?
Today is the only Monday, April 4th, 2022, that will ever be. It has never existed before, and it will never exist again. Once it's gone, it's immutably fixed into the records of eternity as what was. So, choose your socks wisely, and choose which foot you will stand upon with equal wisdom. Home, home, home.
You've made me really worried.
About which foot you should stand on?
About my socks. I can't remember what color I put on today, and now I'm afraid to look.
It's best to confront reality, no matter how terrifying it may seem.
Yeah!
They're brownish. That's not so bad, is it?
Brownish?
Yeah?
You are the only person on the planet who would describe that color as brownish.
What would you say it is?
Poop barf.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, I also wore a pair that's exact same color with flecks of red and blue in it. What would you call this?
Poop barf with sprinkles.
Is poop barf not a good color?
If it was a good color, it wouldn't be called poop barf. Now, put those socks away. They are really starting to make me nauseous.
I'm gonna be wearing these socks in my past for all of eternity.
Indeed. Poop barf forever.
I have to choose exactly the right foot to stand on to make up for wearing poop barf.
You will never be able to make up for wearing the color poop barf.
Never?
But a good decision today will prompt for good decisions to come.
And then all of the decisions I make from now on will be good ones?
And it won't be so pathetic anymore?
Think of it as laying down a gravel path, and this is the first piece of gravel.
How long is the path?
How long do you plan on living?
I'm hoping for at least 60 more years.
Okay. Then the path of gravel you will be laying will be 60 years long.
That's a lot of gravel.
It's metaphorical gravel.
Does it come with metaphorical dust? I don't like dust very much.
The metaphorical dust is completely optional.
Oh, sweet. I need a minute to think about the whole foot lifting thing.
Take your time. You're the one paying for the conversation.
Since I lifted my right foot last time, I should lift my left foot this time, because I might get bored if I do the same foot twice in a row.
Okay.
Are you saying I should do my right foot again? Because I can do that if you want me to.
That's not what I said.
Oh, okay, so I should lift my left foot.
You have to choose.
Don't you agree that I should?
My opinion doesn't matter.
Then why are we doing this?
Because you asked for my help.
Well, I only asked for your help because it looked like you had your act together.
I do.
Well, prove it.
You paid me. That's all the proof you need.
Can you stand on one foot?
I shouldn't have to.
Well, it's not like it's hard. Even I did it.
Then that clearly implies that I can do it too. And you should take my word for it.
But why should I?
Because I'm the most brutally honest person you will ever meet.
Yeah? Well, you're also the most evasive.
So?
Being evasive is a way to hide that you don't know what you're talking about.
We've established that you're the ignorant one here.
We established my vast ignorance, yes. But we didn't address your ignorance at all.
Addressing my ignorance would prove as much as asking me to stand on one foot.
Have you ever stood on one foot?
That's a ridiculous question.
Did you have me do it to find out if it was even possible?
I don't need to explain my motives.
Do you know how to put a foot down?
I know a lot of things.
If you had to lift up your foot twice in a row, could you choose which foot to raise the second time?
You know what? I believe your 7 minutes are up.
And I am done caring what you think. I may be a loser, but at least I'm already aware of it. And I refuse to demean myself for the appeasement of your weirdly selective, ignorant curiosity. Which means that for once in my life, I'm not a loser.
Well done. You've grown.
I have?
Yeah, look.
I have?
I know.
Oh my God, wow!
Look at my sign. Oh.
Wait a minute. Did you plan all of that?
Well, to be completely honest,
Yeah?
you'll have to come back tomorrow with $5.
Oh, come on!
We're joined by Tyler and Cole and their coach, Samantha Stevens. Guys, great job. That was so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
Samantha, talk about the challenges and opportunities that present itself when you're working with a pair of students opposed to just one student.
The first thing that comes to mind with a difficulty is our scheduling. We have to be flexible in figuring out when we can all work together, and finding a piece that we all agree on, because it's not just one decision, it's a group decision. So that's another one, but there are so many more benefits than there are difficulties with working in a group. So
what's one of those benefits about working with a group?
It's so much fun to get to bounce the energy off one another and get to collaborate with somebody and work together and have a partner that you're going through every day with.
Tyler, speaking of collaborating and working together, you guys have been a pair for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So talk about what that's been like and what it's like working with Cole.
I mean, I've got to know Cole in ways that I didn't think I ever would. I mean, we're in the same class, so I know him as a classmate, but I feel like I know him as a friend, and a really close friend by that. I mean, since sophomore year, we've done basically everything together now, so it's good. It's fun knowing Cole like this.
Yeah, I think it was really fun to watch your energy, and you could tell that you guys have been working together for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Cole, why did you guys end up on this piece, and what's your favorite part about it?
We ended up in this piece because it was kind of had that similar, like, normal person, crazy person dynamic that we had last year, and we really liked this kind of the absurdity of the whole life coaching thing that was in this one.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you all, and thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Informative speaking and program oral interpretation are next after this short break.
Education Quest, take 4.
Why do you want to go to college?
I get to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Independence, living on your own.
I need to prepare myself for the future.
What's your biggest challenge in going to college?
Probably the hardest part is the application.
Deciding where I want to go.
College is a little scary. It's a lot harder and a lot more work.
The financial side of it is really confusing.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
After concussion, returning to the classroom is a priority of the NSAA. All brains return to learn, not all brains return to play.
After recognizing that an athlete has suffered a concussion, it is important to monitor the symptoms in the classroom before allowing the athlete to return to extracurricular activities.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course once every 3 years.
More information is available on our website, nsaahome.org. Student athletes are students first, athletes second.
Thanks for joining us for Best of the Best. Next up is informative speaking.
Informative speaking is basically pretty self-explanatory. You're informing the public on something that you're passionate about or just a topic that you find interesting. And I think my favorite thing about informative speaking is your ability to use visual aids. Normally it would be like some foam boards that you can customize to fit your topic, and those are just like my favorite things because you can really customize them to be about anything.
Here's Kenzie Von Renssel from Osmond High School. She won the Class D1 informative category with this speech titled Profanity.
Donald Trump, the former president and a famous politician. Gordon Ramsay, a world-renowned chef and restaurant owner. Jonah Hill, an actor who quickly rose to fame for his comedic acting style. These three men are very different, but what if I told you that they share one thing in common? Can you guess what it is? It's their use of profanity. An article published in the Smithsonian Magazine as of September 2021 states profanity must have the potential to offend, often including phrases or words that are generally considered blasphemous, obscene, or vulgar. However, there is more to profanity than meets the eye. Today, we'll discover the science behind profanity. Then, dig a little deeper into why we curse. And finally, compare cultural views of profanity around the world. Let's start by discovering the science behind profanity. Profanity is nothing like the rest of our human language. Its roots go wide and deep in our brain in a way that no other language does. Our brains don't even register curse words as actual words, but more as concentrated lumps of emotion. They are even stored in a different part of the brain from every other word we know. An article published in the Center for Academic Research and Training in Anthropology as of May 2021 describes how our everyday English language is located in the left hemisphere of our brain, which is associated with logic, critical thinking, reasoning, and language, specifically in the Broca and Wernicke areas. The Broca area lies in the frontal lobe, and the Wernicke area lies in the left temporal lobe. An article published in Mayfield Brain and Spine as of June 2020 states the limbic system is located in the right hemisphere of our brain. It is underneath the cerebral cortex and above the brain stem. The right brain is best at expressing emotions, reading feelings, and being intuitive. Curse words are stored in the limbic system. The limbic system is the center for our emotions. Essentially, trying to ban words that are linked to emotions is just as impossible as trying to ban emotions themselves. Now that we know the science behind profanity, let's dig a little deeper into the different types. If cursing is considered offensive or wrong, then why do we continue to do it? As it turns out, profanity actually serves a few meaningful roles in society. Steven Pinker, a Canadian-American cognitive psychologist, describes in his book, The Stuff of Thought, published in 2005, the 5 ways humans curse. First is emphatic swearing. This type is using words to show interest or express surprise. We don't use these words often, but when we do, it's to convey that our current emotions matter more than proper social conduct. Next is abusive swearing. This type is used with the intent to hurt others. One can say, "You're kind of ugly," to get the point across. But curse words do crank up the mean factor. Another type is idiomatic swearing. This type has no emphasis on a subject, but is rather expressing the peers that the setting is informal. Then there's dysphanetic swearing. Dysphanetisms help us when we're talking about something unpleasant. For instance, if you were being professional, you would not want to say this statement, but rather, "This tastes really awful." And then finally, there is cathartic swearing. Most of the time, cursing is an emotional reaction, such as when we are frustrated, surprised, or angry. This is when you stub your toe or burn your arm. The medical term for this is lasochesia, the use of cursing to reduce pain. In June 2020, Alison Escalante stated in Frontier Psychology magazine how researchers at the Keele University in the United Kingdom conducted a study to see how cursing impacts pain. 92 participants were asked to hold their hands in an ice bath to measure their pain tolerance and threshold. They were then given words like the F word and nonsense words like fouch and twist pipe to say in response to their pain. When the participants repeated the F word, their pain tolerance and threshold increased. Meanwhile, the nonsense words did not have an effect. Now that we know the science behind profanity and understand the different types, let's finally compare cultural views of profanity around the world. It's always interesting, even humorous, to learn curse words in a different language. But have you ever thought about the meaning behind them? Steph Kofiman describes in Babel magazine as of May 2021 the different swearing practices around the globe. In 2017, the Canadian Broadcasting Standards Council ruled that the F word was a common part of the French language. What does this mean? It means that you can go to Canada and see French language broadcasts where the F-bomb flies freely. Americans frequently use this symbol, which represents okay. However, if you're in Brazil and use this gesture, you're in some serious trouble. The OK symbol in Brazil is equivalent to our middle finger. In France, putain is a favorite curse word in every region of the country. It is an old colloquial word which means prostitute. Nowadays, the French use it to express almost anything. They say it when they drop their pencil, forget what they were supposed to buy at the market, or when their favorite soccer team misses an easy goal. An article published in Jump Speak magazine as of October 2020 describes how societal pressures to be successful in Japan are very strong. So by calling someone a baka, which means idiot, is considered an extremely heavy blow. Oliver Geese stated in Rocket Languages magazine as of October 2020 how profanity used in Sweden is most often religious, when referring to Satan and hell. You can tell someone, go to hell, in most places of the world as a joke, but this is seen as incredibly offensive in Sweden. Bon ta dig, which means may the devil take you up, is considered strong cursing in Sweden. Today, we discovered the science behind profanity, then dug a little deeper into why we curse, and finally, compared cultural views of profanity around the world. Whether you like it or not, cursing is something that impacts more than the eye can see. So the next time you stub your toe getting ready for school in the morning, or just failed that math test you studied really hard for, try cursing. It might just help.
We're here with Kenzie and her coach, Leah Keel. Leah, how do you go about choosing a topic for the informative speech? What's the process of that?
A lot of times I just tell the students to write down all of their ideas, and then we kind of go through the process of what would make a good topic and what doesn't. For Kenzie, she did an awesome job. She not only thinks of topics, but she researches them, and she'll have pages of different case studies she found on them, and then we kind of go from there and eliminate them down.
Kenzie, why did you pick this topic in the end?
So throughout my 4 years, I've seen lots of speeches on common items or experiences we have every day, but we don't really think about them. And that's how I came across profanity, because we've all heard it or used it, but we've never actually thought about what goes into it.
Mm-hmm. And what was one of the most interesting things, or the most interesting thing you think you learned during the process?
Probably cultural views of profanity, how it's used in different countries, and if we say a curse word in Brazil that's used in Brazil, it doesn't hold any effect for it for us since it's not considered taboo to us Americans.
Well, it was really great to have you here. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. Only Class A schools compete in our next category, Program Oral Interpretation.
Program of Oral Interpretation, also called POI or POI, is a 10-minute long speech where you organize a collection of articles, poems, books, and put them all together to make a certain argument. And POI is especially impactful because it typically involves things that are really passionate to the speaker. It talks about their own life and their own experiences and stems from that.
Tamaya Bender from Bellevue West High School won Program Oral Interpretation with this performance titled The Death of a Strong Black Woman.
On August 15th, 1999, at 11:55 p.m., while struggling with the reality of being a human instead of a myth, the strong Black woman passed away. In this time of division, fear, and anger, I understand that emotions run high, and I fully support people expressing their emotions. Except Black women who aren't being very nice to me about racism. I was the toddler who told my actual age when my parents wanted to get kitty discounts at restaurants and events. Unironically, I grew up to be the little girl who was unafraid to use her voice whenever, wherever, and however she saw fit. As I grew through adolescence and into young adulthood, until I started to lose my strong Black women, powerful Black women. Black women can do it all. Terms you might have heard while scrolling through your Instagram feed or listening to the latest Beyonce song. Society has obscured the Black woman behind a shatterproof badge of invincibility, forsaking her humanity for independence. The strong Black woman schema is damaging our psyches, causing our emotional health to plummet, and impeding our ability to form healthy relationships. In order for the strong Black woman schema to cease to exist, we must remove the badges of invincibility and remove the labels of superwomen. Through the prose, The Strong Black Woman, How a Myth Endangers the Physical and Mental Health of Black Women by Marita Golden. The poems, The Death of a Strong Black Woman by Lenina Mataka, High Blood Pressure Words by Shamika Thomas, and the articles, I Just Think Black Women Should Be Nicer to Me About Racism by Jen Fredman, and Sounds of a Strong Black Woman by Kyla Golding. A program, The Death of the Strong Black Woman. May she finally get some rest. Medical sources say she died of natural causes, but those who knew her know she died from being silent when she should have been screaming, milling when she should have been raging, from being sick and not wanting anyone to know because her pain might inconvenience them. I also support Black Lives Matter. Sometimes. I mean, I even thought about wearing a shirt that said that on it once, but I was going to my yoga class, and I didn't want to bring any weird energy into the space or make anyone uncomfortable. I totally think Black Lives Matter. It's just that saying it can be so divisive. It's really confrontational, and confrontation is bad for my mental health. She died from being battered, and she allowed the battering to go on to show she loved him too. She died this exudation, coughing blood from secrets she kept trying to burn away instead of allowing herself the kind of nervous breakdown she was entitled to. But only white girls could afford it. The strong black woman is dead. Our bodies, souls, and spirits are a map, a testimony to the ravages of our enslavement, the cruel legacy of legal segregation, lack of access to wealth, gun employment, and stable housing in our psyches have been twisted and turned inside out by the stories we tell ourselves. And the stories that are told about us, stories that have sometimes saved and sometimes sabotaged us. The strong black woman, the angry black woman, the superwoman, the invincible superwoman. We've had to be strong. We have good reason to be angry. We say yes over and over to our families because the world so often tells them no. And who wouldn't want to be Superwoman? I figured she wanted to thank me for my efforts, but when I got to her office, all she said was that the black community needs white people like me to confront racism and to be careful not to weaponize my white tears. And I was like, what? Can someone explain to me how tears can be weapons? What a hilarious concept. I clearly thought she was joking, but when I laughed, oh, she clearly didn't have a sense of humor about it at all. I have been running a marathon. The destination away from the past, preferably at warp speed. Don't look back because there's nothing there I can use. Don't look back because I can only see betrayal and loss. Don't look back because you had to keep your eye on the prize you were running toward. But I was running in place, hypnotized by the illusion that movement in of itself was progress. She died from tributes, from her counterparts who should have been matching her efforts instead of showering her with dead words and empty songs. She died from myths that would not allow her to show weakness without being chastised by the lazy and the hazy, the strong. Silent talking black woman is dead. I was a black woman. I had no other choice. It felt like I had been born wearing the mask of the strong black woman. The mask is diabolical and dynamic. It becomes reflexive and theatrical, even as we convince ourselves that it fits us perfectly. It feels more like the grip of a snare. Endurance is proof of our strength. We don't have to remove the mask, just adjust it around the edges or find a larger size until the mask disintegrates, turns to ash, as all eyes must in the end. The mask unremoved can irreparably harm the relationships we most care about. I felt nearly invincible wearing my mask. Black women, live your life. Admit when you need counseling. Admit when you are tired. Admit when you need to cry. Please stop killing yourself behind closed doors, because being a martyr is the new way to lie. Please. Do not let the first time you get some rest be when you die.
I'm here with Tamaya and her coach, Becca Heyer. Tamaya, that was a beautiful and powerful performance.
Thank you.
Why did you choose that piece, and what does it mean to you?
I chose that piece because I'm very passionate about speaking on topics in the African American community, and problems that are plaguing our community. Is very important to use this platform that I have in forensics to make sure that these topics that are uncomfortable situations and conversations are getting talked about. And this piece means to me like everything. I see it implemented in my life every day, and to speak about it for 10 minutes or so is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think we can really see your passion coming through. Great job. Becca, how do you prepare with Tamaya for this performance? What's the process been?
Sure. So this started, gosh, I think it started last school year. She came to me with this idea. And what I've learned about working with Tamaya for 3 years is that she's going to come up with excellent ideas, and my goal is just to guide her as best as I can. So she comes in with literature that is specific and perhaps something that I am not aware of, right? But then I spend time kind of honing those skills with her of, you know, how do we make the emotional scenes as dynamic as they are, and what kinds of things can we include to make it more approachable for people who are not members of the African American community.
Well, congratulations, and thank you both for being here again. After a quick break, we'll be back with humorous prose and extemporaneous performances. Stay with us.
Electricity. It makes life easier, more productive, brighter, possible. Yet we only think about it when we don't have it. The next time you're doing, well, anything, think about how electricity makes it all possible. And know we will be there, powering your everyday, every day.
Welcome back to the 2022 NSAA Speech Championships, the best of the best. We're showcasing champions from this year's state competition performing their winning speeches, with other students giving us a little perspective on each of the 10 categories. Interpretation of humorous prose is next.
Humorous prose is basically a cutting of a movie or a book, and we take it and break it down and interpret it in our own way. And I really like it because I get to be fun and funny and make people laugh.
Here's Class B humorous prose champion Bronson Long of Gothenburg performing The Case of the Count, formerly known as Dracula.
It ended like most of my cases. With a stake through a vampire's heart. But it began with a letter. I opened it. The postmark read, Transylvania. Some guy named Van Helsing was dropping a dime to tell me he needed my help. Dear Mr. Time, I need your help. My country has recently suffered a sudden and mysterious shortage of virgins. Unless this problem is solved, my country faces certain economic disaster. The guy sounded desperate. I'm desperate, Time. What can I do? It's my job. The name's Time. just in time. I work for the FBI, the fictional Bureau of Investigation. I handle the toughest, dirtiest cases in English literature, so I did what I always do. Slipped on my trench coat, grabbed my fedora, cued my musical accompaniment, and caught my first train out of town. What do all great detective stories have in common? The perfect crime, the wrongfully accused, mess-ups of dim-witted police, the superior intelligence of the detective, and lastly, the big reveal of how the detective solved the case. So this story has none of these. But it does have a detective. Just in Time has been asked to investigate a shortage of virgins in Transylvania, but will he crack the case? The case of the Count, formerly known as Dracula by Bruce Cain. Van Helsing's directions are very clear. You leave the Transylvania station about 3:45. You read a magazine and you're in Transylvania. When I got there, I made my way to the mausoleum. A dive on the wrong side of Cemetery Row. Transylvania was that kind of town, and the mausoleum was my kind of joint. Dark, dank, dreary, dismal, and depressing. Well, if it isn't just in time. Igor, long time no see. What brings you to Transylvania time? Some guy named Van Helsing said he needed my help. Abraham Van Helsing? Yes, Abraham Van Helsing. Dr. Abraham Van Helsing? Yes, Dr. Abraham Van Helsing. Never heard of him. Don't play dumb with me, Igor. I'm not playing. You know this guy. I know you know this guy. You know I know you know this guy. You know... Stop. Fine. I'll tell you what you need to know. You passed Van Helsing on your way in. All right. Now, which one of these deadbeats is he? Well, you got the dead part right. I was talking about the cemetery. I wondered if Van Helsing's death had anything to do with the missing virgins. I wondered if it had anything to do with the letter he wrote me. I wondered... what it would be like to lose myself in those big blue eyes. Buy a drink? Sure thing, honey hips. Igor? Yes, master. A Bloody Mary for the little lady. The shame for me. By the way, you can call me Molly. And why would I do that? Because it's my name. I decided to take Molly here for a little carriage ride in the country. Just her, me, the moonlight, a blanket, and a shaker of Bloody Marys. Unfortunately, the country we happened to take a ride in was Transylvania. Look. What is it time? The bridge. It's out. Oh, what will we do? Just the two of us here, alone in the forest, with nothing but a burning mutual attraction that must be satisfied before it consumes the both of us. Yep, we gotta get out here somewhere. What about that joint up ahead? Oh, you mean that dark, foreboding castle being perched over those jagged rocks? Yeah, that castle. Yes? Can I help you? The name's Time. Just in time. The doll here calls herself Molly. And why does she do that? Because it's her name. Any chance we could stay here till the storm blows over? Let me go check in with the master. 1 second it was just Molly and me. And then... Good evening. Some guy in a tuxedo made it 3. Where'd you come from? Bucharest. I just flew in and boy, are my arms tired. Oh, joke. Joke? I never joke. I have no sense of humor. Something about this guy gave me the willies. I don't know if it was the slick back hair, the pale white complexion, or the blood dripping from his fangs. Mysterious.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Count Dracula. The name's Time. Yes, I know. Renfield told me. So you haven't shed yet. If it's all right for me and sugar calves here to camp out till the rain stops. Mi casa es su casa. Miss Molly, if you would come with me, I will show you to your room. I followed the two of them down a dark, dank, dreary, dismal, and depressing corridor. Then all of a sudden, the door slammed behind me. I tried to get out, but it was locked. I could hear Molly screaming throughout the castle. Please, Count. You don't understand. Please, Count, I'm not that kind of girl. Oh. Wow, Count. Wow. Good golly, Miss Molly. It took me 3 days to pick the lock. Oh, yeah. When I got out, I looked everywhere for Molly, but the castle seemed deserted. That is, until I followed down one last dark, dank, dreary, dismal, and depressing hallway. I pushed open one last door. Good evening, Mr. Time. We've been expecting you. I've come for the girl. Which girl? Let's just call her Molly. And why would we do that? Because it's her name. Oh, leave him alone, Time. It was Molly. At least I thought it was Molly. Back off, zombie hips. I'm gonna punch this guy's ticket for good. This stake's got your name on it, Count. You see it? I believe that says Louisville Sluggard. Oh, I won't let you kill him. Renfield. Yes, master. Pin Mr. Time's arms behind his back. Okay. You've become an annoyance, Mr. Time. It is time for you to go. Bye-bye. You forgot about one thing, Count. The light. How can this be? The sun isn't due up for another hour. You forgot about another thing, Count. Daylight savings time. Damn you, Time! I've been waiting for someone to do that. Who the heck are you? The name is Van Helsing. When I was among the living dead, you knew me as Renfield. But now that Dracula has died, I've returned to being the handsome and debonair Abraham Van Helsing, who men want to be and who women want to be with. Oh, Time, I promise I'll never leave your side ever again. I'm gonna devote my whole life to making you happy. Once we're married, of course. I don't remember mentioning the M word to Molly. Bring. Yes, hello? Fine, I'll tell him. Mr. Time, it's urgent. Something about a murder in Rue Morgue. I better get on that right away. Oh, you can't leave me like this, Time. What will I do without you? You'll do what every other dame I've ever known does. Suffer. So, Doc, how many murders are we talking about? There have been no murders in Rue Morgue. I was just returning a favor. What favor? We're both men of the world, Mr. Time. Well, the young lady is quite the delectable morsel. You have a more, let's say, expansive culinary palate. Can you put that in plain English for me, Doc? You just saved my life, and I just saved yours. You know what, Doc? This could be the start of an amazing friendship.
I'm here with Bronson and Bronson's coach, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, As a coach, when you're working on a student with a more funny tone or funny performance, is your approach or preparation different than if you're working on a more serious piece?
Absolutely. With the serious pieces, you're looking for the depth of that emotion to make sure that the storyline sticks and the power behind it is there. When we're working on something that's humorous, we're looking for that energy. We're looking for that spark that continues to keep the humor alive throughout the piece.
And is it easy for Bronson? Is he kind of a funny guy, or is it hard to kind of pull that spark out of him?
That comes naturally for him. Most of what you saw today actually comes from Bronson. He created all of those characters, and the actions and the little nuances that go with them is very easy for him to come up with.
Like you mentioned, there was a lot going on in that piece. Bronson, what's the best part about, or your favorite part about that performance?
The favorite part? That's a tough one. I really like making the sound of the door. I don't know, it's just something I would just randomly do in the middle of my house, and it worked out. So I always enjoy doing that part.
I was gonna say there were a lot of sound effects, and I'm like, do you just do that? Do you just come up with those, or you're listening to videos?
I mean, no, the big thing is that, when you randomly make those sound effects, you don't really expect them to be useful in life at all, but it's useful for a speech, so I'll take it. But no, it's just, I would just randomly make them in my house, and my mom has to put up with that.
So your family's just cool with you going around making kind of random sound effects?
Thankfully, yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was really fun to watch you. Congratulations, and thank you again for being here, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Extemporaneous speaking is our next category.
Extemporaneous speaking is a limited prep event. You have 1 hour to prepare a 5 to 7 minute speech about either an international or a domestic topic. One thing I really like about extemporaneous is how you can take your personal opinion and put it into the speech. And it makes for some very interesting topics and responses.
Tamika Eastman of Sioux County High School won Class D2 Extemporaneous by speaking on this timely topic. Is it likely at all that NATO will become militarily involved in the Russian-Ukraine war?
Let's set the scene. Middle school playground. And the merry-go-round is certainly the place to go. However, there's always the big kid picking on the smaller kid while the teacher's backs are turned. But let's insert some names. Russia, as the big kid picking on the much smaller Ukraine, while NATO, or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, also known as NATO, have their backs turned. This example can serve as a metaphor for the current conflict between Russia and Ukraine. This conflict first began on the morning of February 24th, 2022. And ever since, sanctions from other countries, some being a part of NATO, have been imposed on Russia. However, with the level of intensity that Russia is portraying, will NATO countries settle for sanctions, or will they become militarily involved? Which begs us to ask the question, is there any chance that NATO will become militarily involved in the Ukraine conflict? I strongly believe that NATO will become militarily involved in the Ukraine conflict. We will look at this in 3 key ideals. First, we will discuss the Baltic states. Next, we will examine the Nord Stream pipeline. And finally, we will analyze the limited no-fly zone over Ukraine. And according to the Heritage Foundation, on January 29, 2022, the Baltic region is the most complex region that the NATO alliance is obligated to defend. And while small in size and population, the Baltic states represent something much bigger geopolitically. They are staunch defenders of economic freedom, liberal democracy, and human rights. This has to do with the history between Russia and the Baltic states. This history is revealed by Business Insider on March 16, 2022, stating the Baltic states experienced Russian treachery during more than 5 decades of Soviet occupation in ways that few other countries did. But this had to do with their geographical location, which not only provided obstacles in the past, but also creates a greater necessity for broader NATO involvement. And as highlighted by the Heritage Foundation on January 29, 2022, that militarily speaking, the 3 Baltic states, including Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania, are isolated from other NATO members, making them more enticing to Russia compared to other NATO countries. And especially, if they are successful in Ukraine, the willingness to reacquire the Baltic states into Russia's orbit may be more inevitable. But going back to our scenario on the merry-go-round, If a bully does not face consequences for their actions, they will continue to attack others until stopped. Now that we've discussed the Baltic states, let's examine the Nord Stream pipeline. A little information on the pipeline is provided by Business Insider on February 28, 2022, stating the Nord Stream has been transporting natural gas from Russia to Germany via the Baltic Sea since 2011. It is made up of 2 parallel pipelines, each around 750 miles long. And Nord Stream says it's able to transport up to 971 billion cubic feet of natural gas per year. And seeing the significance of this pipeline to Russia, countries including Poland brought up the idea of shutting the pipeline down. Ischinger told CNBC on January 5th, 2022, that if we shut down the pipeline, Russia will definitely lose tens of billions of dollars or euros going forward. However, Germany then strongly disagreed with this idea and continued to operate with Russia through the pipeline. However, what if Russia decides to shut down the pipeline? The consequences are revealed by Business Insider on February 28, 2022, stating if Russia decides to shut down the pipeline, natural gas prices will skyrocket and possibly cause thousands of civilians to freeze to death. And facing such a calamity, one could see Germany and other NATO countries become more willing to become militarily involved in Ukraine to bring a swift conclusion to the conflict in order that gas flows start again. Finally, let's examine the no-fly zone. The issuing of this action is further explained by the New Republic on March 8, 2022, stating 27 diplomats and former Defense and State Department officials and DC think tankers released an open letter calling for a limited no-fly zone. A U.S. NATO-enforced no-fly zone to protect humanitarian corridors and provide additional military means for Ukrainian self-defense are desperately needed, and they are needed now, they wrote. The significance is highlighted by Evelyn Farkas, a former United States Assistant Secretary of Defense for Russia, Eurasia, and Ukraine, on March 8, 2022, stating we can't just have a ceasefire, and there has to be a way for us to enforce it. And indeed, now there is. But the chances of NATO becoming militarily involved in the conflict would rise significantly if Russia entered the no-fly zone. According to the New Republic, on March 8, 2022, if Putin's aircraft entered the NATO-controlled airspace, it would show that Russia is intent on starting military conflict with NATO. And if they are that far gone, there is going to be war with NATO. And as Article 5 of the NATO Treaty states, an attack on one is an attack on all. Today, we were given the question, is there any chance that NATO will become militarily involved in the Ukraine conflict? I strongly believed that NATO will become militarily involved in the Ukraine conflict. We looked at this in 3 key ideals. First, we discussed the Baltic states. Next, we examined the Nord Stream pipeline. And finally, we analyzed the limited no-fly zone over Ukraine. And it is clear, after the evaluation of these 3 key trigger points, that NATO is closer than many think to military involvement in the Russia-Ukraine war.
We're here with Coach Deshelle Rowan and Tamika Eastman. Tamika, that was really impressive.
Thank you.
How do you go about preparing for something like this category?
Well, first it starts in after speech practice, and during it with Mr. Rohan, we usually do a deep dive on the news and kind of analyze topics and analyze current events that are going on, why they're happening, histories behind it, how to further combat these issues. And then we go into Extemp Genie, which most everybody uses, and we file a lot of articles to make sure it's very organized when we come to the speech competition. Then it's all set from there, and it's usually pretty good preparation for it. So
great. Coach, how has this category evolved over the last few years and since when you were in school?
Well, when I remember doing Extemp when I was in high school, there were times when we would take, and certain schools certainly would take the four-drawer file cabinets in like the handicap accessible buses because they had the lifts on them that you could lift up there, and teams would walk in with a four-drawer file cabinet on a dolly into the thing with all the physical magazines in them, or you would walk in with like tons of boxes of the physical magazines. And now we have Extemp Genie, which downloads 400,000 articles in like 30 minutes.
insane.
And it's like so much easier to do that than it is to try to do it the way we did it before. Let's just say that.
I bet. Tamika, about how many hours do you think you put in on your research?
Oh boy. Usually we always practice Monday through Friday, and probably an average 1 to 2.5 hours each night.
Well, I think all that work really paid off. Congratulations to you both again, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
You bet.
Let's take another quick break. Persuasive and Poetry are next. We'll be right back.
It may be small, but this little bean fuels power. It powers a food industry as a source of protein. It's a fuel that powers diesel engines while reducing emissions. It powers a state economy and bottom lines. And it powers the rest of the world as a Nebraska export. Yeah, it may be small, but we're finding more ways for this little bean to power Nebraska.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom, but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
2 more great speeches are next. First up, persuasive speaking.
Persuasive speaking is a 10-minute long speech that you try to persuade others to see your point of view. I like persuasive speaking because it gives people the opportunity to see something that I'm really passionate about.
Here's Elena Enevoldson of Raymond Central High School with her Class C1 winning persuasive speech titled Destination Addiction.
In my college comp class, we just finished reading The Great Gatsby. Seriously, this book is touted as a classic. The entire story revolves around a man who falls in love with a woman who coincidentally is only in love with money, and being poor, he works relentlessly for the next 5 years in order to build her the house of her dreams and give her the life she's always wanted. Only to find out that she married some other rich dude, had a kid, and is completely unsatisfied with her life. Now, if you're like the rest of the kids in my comp class, you probably feel bad for Jay Gatsby, but for the wrong reasons. You see, Gatsby wasn't just some lovesick fool who fell for the wrong woman. No. Instead, we should feel bad for Gatsby because he was never happy. No matter what he achieved, it was never enough for him. Gatsby suffered madly from destination addiction. Destination addiction is the preoccupation with the idea that happiness is always going to be in the next place, the next job, or with the next partner. We need to stop believing that our happiness is always going to be in front of us, and instead find the happiness in our lives right now. So today, we'll begin by first identifying the problem of destination addiction. Then we'll discuss the effects this problem has on us before finally finding some solutions towards our addiction to happiness. In British psychologist Robert Holden's book titled Authentic Success, he poses the question, do you live your life only to get to the end of it? Most of us would answer no. However, we don't consistently live like that. In our society today, people exhibit frantic, neurotic behavior that Holden describes as destination addiction. He states that people who have this addiction believe that success and happiness are a place. We've become so addicted to the belief that our happiness is in the future that we've even given it a time and date. Each moment in our present is merely a ticket towards that future. We are constantly on the move, on the run, and on the go. According to communications teacher Bertina Navita, in a September 2nd, 2020 article from The Medium titled Life is Happening Right Now and Destination Addiction Won't Let You Love It, We have begun rushing through experiences as quickly as possible because we always have somewhere else to be or something else to do before we can finally relax and savor the moment. However, with each step we take in an effort to pursue happiness, we ironically stray further from it. According to the Huffington Post, in an article titled, "Do You Have Destination Addiction?" published December 6th of 2017, the state of mind we live in is best described as a feeling of dissatisfaction because we now only see the faults, where we used to see the potential for happiness. We've become so addicted to the belief that our happiness is in the future that we've forgotten to let ourselves live in the moment. This preoccupation that our minds are constantly circling around has caused us to literally suffer from the pursuit of happiness. Now that we've identified the problem of destination addiction, let's discuss the effects this problem has on us. Even in our youth, we've always been taught to strive for success. Psychologist Latoya Gaines from Psychology Today states that children are being conditioned to always be thinking about success with the future. We've often heard the questions, what do you want to be when you grow up? Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Are you getting good enough grades to get into a good university? Our minds have shifted to become future-oriented and trained to believe that everything we do is an act of service towards our future goals. Because of this, people have begun to suffer from anxiety, depression, and feelings of disillusionment as they disregard everything they have in order to focus solely on the future. According to Psychology Today, in an article titled "The Search for Happiness," published July 20th of 2016, by focusing on what we don't have, rather than on what we do, we have begun to compare ourselves to others, only to constantly come up short. However, when we compare ourselves to others, we're comparing ourselves to a fake sense of happiness. When we use social media apps such as Snapchat or Instagram, people are allowed to post content from wherever and whenever they want. However, these apps also allow you to alter that content, meaning what you see probably isn't even real. So when you compare yourselves to those online, you're comparing yourself to an artificial sense of happiness. In his TED Talk titled "Destination Addiction," Dr. Holden states that we constantly feel like we're running behind because we're always looking forward. If we're never happy with where we are, how are we supposed to be happy with where we're going? Society today has created a manic mindset that has made people believe that if you're not happy now, you have to rush towards the future at full speed in order to be happy there. However, instead of trying to change happiness, we should be trying to change how we perceive happiness. So how are we supposed to look past our ingrained teachings of looking towards the future and start focusing on our present instead? Unfortunately, there's never going to be a quick fix to destination addiction. However, there are steps that we can take in order to begin to retrain our brains. According to licensed communications coach Elizabeth Berry, in an article titled "Overcoming Happiness, Destination Addiction," published June 6th of 2021, there are 3 simple steps that we can all take in order to find happiness in our current lives. First, we need to stop repetitive habits. Sometimes it's easy for us to get stuck in a rut, especially when we do the same things every single day. In order to get out of these ruts, it's important for us to focus on the present moment. For example, try being spontaneous every once in a while, whether that be an impromptu trip to the mall or simply getting yourself your favorite morning coffee. Try doing something that keeps you focused on the now. Next, we need to be more truthful with ourselves. By constantly saying things like, "Oh, I wish I could," or "I'll be happier when," we're forcing ourselves to believe that our happiness really is reliant on the future. Instead, we should be saying more "I can" and "I am" statements for us to truly see the happiness that our current lives provide. And finally, we need to embrace the people we are right now. Instead of constantly trying to escape our pasts by always looking towards the future, we need to embrace the people we are right now for us to truly see how happy we really are. Another way that we can overcome this addiction to happiness is to stop trying. I know it may seem unconventional, but according to the backwards law written by Alan Watts on November 3rd of 2021, accepting a negative experience is a positive experience, while fighting a negative experience means that you suffer twice. Only when we stop trying so hard to become happy can we be happy, because there's nothing we need that we don't already have. When we accept imperfection, we become perfect. When we accept loneliness, we're content with being alone. Only by accepting those negatives and flaws can we truly be happy. However, the backwards law isn't a reason to never be ambitious or set goals for yourself, but instead not to be fooled by the idea that simply pursuing happiness ultimately leads to happiness. In the end, Gatsby may not have gotten that happy ending he was so desperately chasing. However, I figured out that the girl he was running after wasn't really worth his time anyways. Today, we began by first identifying the problem of destination addiction. Then we discussed the effects this problem has on us, before finally finding some solutions towards our addiction to happiness. And while Gatsby had to figure all this out on his own, at least now you have a head start, old sport.
I'm here with Elena and her coach, Carolyn, who also happens to be her mom. Carolyn, you've been coaching Elena since middle school. What has that journey been like, seeing her grow, not only as a performer, but also as your daughter?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been interesting. It's been an adventure. She hasn't always been the most coachable child, but you know, I mean, that comes with not always wanting to listen to mom either. So it's been a lot of fun.
Elena, what has that experience been like for you?
Aggravating. I mean, I love her, but I can't always listen to her because I don't want to.
At least she's honest.
Yeah. Elena, how did you think of this topic? How did you come up with it?
Honestly, it came from one of my coaches. There was a quote that they found on Facebook that led to a TED Talk that I mentioned in my speech. And after watching 30 minutes of it, I just really thought that this would be a cool topic to do.
And why do you think it's an important topic?
I think it's important for us to understand that our lives are happening right now and we can't always be looking ahead at different moments. We need to experience what's going on right now.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here and congratulations to you both again.
Thank you.
Let's learn a little bit about oral interpretation of poetry.
Poetry is basically, as it said, poetry. But usually you take more than one poetry, so an average number is around 4 or 5, and then you can add them together by splicing them, so cutting them up and putting them into something new, or just adding them onto each other. And then basically throughout this, you're telling a central theme or story using all of your poems.
Sydney Mitchell from Alma High School was the Class C2 poetry champion. Here's her winning performance titled Angry Black Woman.
I'm angry. If you ask my teachers, I'm a great student, I crack jokes, and I laugh a lot, but I am angry. I'm angry, I just don't show it, because if I ever do, I get told I need to stop talking black. And I bet you can guess what happens after that. I get angry. I'm angry because my hair gets pointed out anytime I wear it naturally, or maybe it's because my clothes don't fit me a certain way. Or maybe it's because the people around me make racist jokes and I have no choice but to laugh, because if I do not, they will think that I am angry. I'm angry. I'm angry that I had to write this poem. I'm angry that women get slut-shamed. I'm angry that black women are not expected to succeed. I'm angry that when this black woman does succeed, everyone else will get angry. I think I speak for a lot of black women when I say that we are angry. We are angry because not everyone else is angry. We're angry things go unnoticed and that others can get away with things that we could not. We are angry. Racism and sexism. 2 of the 21st century's most pressing issues. Now, I understand I'm not the darkest complected black girl you've ever seen, but I am black and I am proud. Today I've prepared 3 poems, all of which are titled Angry Black Woman. The first poem is one that I wrote and relate to specifically. The following 2 are by other beautiful black women of the names of Imani Sesame and Portia O. They discuss the issues they have with the problems in today's society. Here is Angry Black Woman, a slam poetry program. This is my Angry Black Woman poem. It's loud, it's black, it's angry, and it's woman. It's loud and it's black and it's angry and it's woman because y'all love to watch us be loud and black and angry and woman. So ask me why I'm mad. See, I'm mad because I'm paying attention. This country thinks it's slick. I mean, my president was black, but never my Jesus. Prefer I get sterilized than get birth control. Swear it was Janae Rice's fault. Ask if Rihanna hit him first. Call Quvenzhané Wallace Annie instead, as a reminder that the beasts of the southern wilds do not get to name themselves. Discuss the hair on Gabby Douglas's head before the gold draped around her neck, and how it looks nothing like a rope and chain, but still represents America. I'm mad because you're still asking to touch my hair. Mad that the revolution will not be televised because you must have a perm to report it. But the white girls want to start calling their curls natural. They're wearing braids and gelling baby hairs like that's new. Demanding access to this experience when they will never know the crack of a nap, conquering the comb. The raw skin scrubbed red but not quite white. I'm mad because Vogue magazine traced my lineage of big booty back to Kim Kardashian. Because somewhere in America, Miley Cyrus is still twerking, while Iggy Azalea sips the ghetto through a straw like she's on vacation. See, everyone wants to be me, but they won't let me be me. They tell me to lower my voice and straighten my hair. No braids, no buns, no twists, no afros, no scarves. They look too much like crowns. Less hood rat, less Nicki Minaj, more Aunt Jemima. Told to keep this sweet smile full of syrup, this belly haughty and singing, this head bowed and these hands busy. Told to fill these lips with every yes ma'am and no selfish thought of a civil war. I'm mad because racism, sexism, patriarchy, misogyny, and colorism at the same damn time. Because they won't even cast dark-skinned women to play dark-skinned women in movies about dark-skinned women. Because every time my brother walks out that door, the words, "Be safe," kneel at my lips and I pray to a God I'll only believe in when he brings my little brother home alive. Mourning still, because you know about George, Tavon, Aaron, and Michael, but you don't know about Eva, Eleanor, Ayana, or Tarika. Because in protest, black victims are black men by default. So yes, I'm angry. And I'm tired of trying to convince people that I can feel other things, how I'm unprepared to raise a son that looks like his father. I am disgusted that there is more shame in loving a black woman than there is in raping one. See, I'm human. I'm human. I just have a hell of a lot to be angry about. Let me just say that I am a very beautiful person. I'm sweet and intelligent and funny and awkward, and I just had to say that only because I'm a little tired of this stereotype about the angry black woman, whoop-de-doo, right? Because as you can see, I am black and a woman, and I'm not angry at all. I'm actually really pissed off. I'm mad as hell. I'm so mad I'm getting ready to break my foot off in everybody's, but let's pretend this is class so I can tell you why I'm mad. See, I'm mad at the education system. Mad that education is the key, yet they keep the poor locked out. They get hand-me-down books and hand-me-down chairs. They get hand-me-down teachers that give those hand-me-down stares. I'm pissed off at gentrification. Pissed that the rich be Robin Hood and mad that Robin Hood was just a mother tricking myth. I'm mad because Barbie is a standard of beauty. I hate that fruits and vegetables are so damn expensive. So how are the poor gonna eat healthy off some damn potato chips? I'm mad that the government and the media are controlled by the same people, and those same people control everything in this world. I'm mad that women got raped. I'm hate that I got 8 minutes to say these poems and I have a whole lifetime worth of angry. I'm mad that I can't say that I am a socialist out loud. Mad that a gay lesbian can't be out loud and proud in the military. I'm pissed off because only 28 states allow everyone to unite in holy matrimony. And while I appreciate civil unions, forget civil unions. If I move to another state, then the state of my civil union is at stake. So what good is that going to do for me in the state of Wyoming? And believe it or not, I'm still really pissed off about slavery. That's right, I'm still mad because I picked cotton off clothes racks but never racked up preparations. I'm mad because black people still use the N-word to address each other. I'm sick because any minute Sister Girl's gonna turn around, look at me and call me a bitch. I'm mad at black men for reasons I don't even have time to list. I'm pissed off at hip hop. I'm pissed off at black on black crime. I'm pissed off that Ricky Ross got all the crack and we can't turn that back. I'm even more pissed off. I'm mad because above everything, at any given time and in any given space, I, as a black woman, can suffer from racism, sexism, homophobia, classism. I could be raped, be beat, be burned alive, and no one, not a single soul would look up to acknowledge my absence from this world because I am insignificant, because I am a black woman. Finally, you see, I have every right to be pissed off. But most of the time, despite what you believe, I'm actually really, really sweet.
I'm here with Sydney and Sydney's coach, Courtney Stotler. Sydney, that was a beautiful and powerful performance. Thank you so much. Tell us why you picked that performance and what it means to you.
I picked those because I'm from a small town where diversity isn't really something you see often. So a lot of opinions go unsaid or unseen. And I just wanted people to know that there are other opinions out there. There are people that have opinions like I do, and like everyone else has opinions about other things. And I made sure that my poems had a climax. That was my most important part. So I just really wanted to speak something that other people don't hear very often.
Well, we're really glad that you did that. You know, your performances were so powerful and emotional. How do you prepare for that sort of performance?
I really don't prepare, I'm gonna be honest. I channel the things that make me upset, and I channel the things that I've seen that make others upset, and I just try to do my best to convey for other people, to advocate for others, so.
Great. And Coach, what was it like working with Sydney on her performance?
She's been probably one of my easiest ones. She worked a lot on her own, and she is so coachable that she would take all of those judges' remarks and really just read over them and read over them, try to implement everything that they said.
Where have you seen her grow throughout this process?
It's hard to believe that she was in speech and not this successful before, because she's blossomed from the beginning. She's done fantastic.
Well, we're so glad you're here. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you.
2 more categories remain. Watch winning drama and entertainment performances after this quick break.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you think about going to college? I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit.
That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college. How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question. So what if you had a friend you could ask?
Welcome back to the 2022 NSAA Speech Championships, the best of the best. Interpretation of drama is our next category.
Oral interpretation of drama is when a group of kids come together to put on a performance.
Each person has a binder, and it can be groups of 3, 4, or 5, and you use the binder as almost part of your body to interpret drama.
And then you have reactions based off of how other people say their lines, and you use big facial expressions to really play the story.
Performing Phantom of the Opera, here are the Class B drama champions from York High School.
In sleep he sang to me.
Lot 665, ladies and gentlemen, a papier-mâché musical box in the shape of a barrel organ.
In dreams he came, that voice which calls to me.
30 once, 30 twice, sold to the Vicomte de Chagny. Thank you, sir.
And speaks my name.
Lot 666 then, a chandelier in pieces. Now, some of you may recall the strange affair of the Phantom of the Opera, a mystery never fully explained.
And do I dream again, for now I find.
We are told, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the very chandelier which figures in the famous disaster. Our workshops have repaired it and wired parts of it for the new electric light. Perhaps we can frighten away the ghost of so many years ago with a little illumination.
The Phantom of the Opera is there.
Inside my mind.
It's been played to over 140 million people in 35 countries in 166 cities around the world.
With an estimated gross of $6 billion.
It has been translated into 15 different languages.
And has become the longest-running show in Broadway history.
Telling the tale of a masked figure who lurks beneath the catacombs of the Paris Opera House, exercising a reign of terror
over all who inhabit it. The Phantom of the Opera.
By Andrew Lloyd Webber.
And we're deeply honored to introduce our new patron, the Vicomte de Chagny.
It's Raoul. I guess you could say we were childhood sweethearts. He called me Little Lottie.
My parents and I are honored to support all the arts, especially the world-renowned Opera Populaire.
May I present Signora Carlotta Giudicelli, our leading soprano for 5 seasons now.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
An honor, Signora. I'll be here this evening to share in your great triumph.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Monsieur le Vicomte.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We'll try our very best.
We take a particular pride here in the excellence of our ballets. Christine Daae, promising talent.
Christine Daae?
All that they want is the dancing. I hope that you are excited about dancing, girls, because I will not be singing.
But I wonder, Signora, if as a personal favor you would oblige us all with a private rendition.
If my manager commands. Everybody very quiet. Shh. Think of me fondly when we've said goodbye.
My God, the set!
He's here, the Phantom of the Opera!
Idiot! Help me up, help me up!
Signora, are you all right?
For God's sake, what's going on here?
Signora, please, these things do happen.
For the past years, these things do happen. And did you stop them from happening? No! Until you stop these things from happening, this thing does not happen.
I have a message, sir, from the
Opera Ghost. God in heaven, what is this?
He welcomes you to his
opera house. His opera house.
And commands that you continue to leave box 5 empty for his use, and reminds you that his salary is due. The previous owner paid him 20,000 francs a month.
20,000 francs? Well, obviously we shall now have to cancel, as it appears we've lost our star. But surely there must be an understudy.
Christine Daae could sing it, sir. She's been taking lessons from a wonderful teacher.
Christine.
Christine? All right, come on now, don't be shy.
Think of me fondly when we've said goodbye.
Can it be Christine? Bravo! She may not remember me, but I remember her.
Brava, bravissima.
Christine, there you are. Really, you were perfect.
When my father lay dying, he told me I would be protected by an angel of music.
Christine, do you really think the spirit of your father has been coaching you?
Who else, Meg? I can sense him. The unseen genius.
Unseen genius.
Christine, you must have been dreaming.
He's with me even now. It frightens me.
Don't be frightened.
Little Lottie thought, am I fonder of dolls or of goblins?
Raoul.
What I love best, Lottie said, is when I'm asleep in my bed.
And the angel of music sings songs in my head. Father said, when I'm in heaven, child, I will bring the angel of music to you. Well, Father's dead, Raoul, and I have been visited by the angel of music.
No doubt of it. And now we go to supper.
No, the angel is very strict.
You must change. I'll order my carriage. 2 minutes, little Lottie.
No, Raoul, wait!
Insolent boy. this slave of fashion, basking in your glory?
Angel, I hear you. Speak, I listen. Stay by my side. Guide me.
Flattering child, see why in shadow I hide. Look at your face in the mirror. I am there.
Whose is that voice? Who is that in there?
I am your angel of music.
Christine? Christine!
Come to me, your angel of music.
Those who have seen your face, draw back in fear. I am the mask you wear.
It's me they hear.
The phantom of the opera is there, inside my mind.
They say yellow parchment is his skin. A great black hole serves as the nose that never grew.
You must be always on your guard, or he will catch you with his magical lasso.
Those who speak of what they do not know find too late that prudent silence is wise. Hold your tongue. Keep your hand at the level of your eyes.
At the level of your eyes.
Whose is that shape in the shadows? Whose is that face in the mask?
Oh, damn you! You little crying handler! You little...
What you wanted to see? Fix and to learn. Go learn to see. To find the man behind the monster. Come, Christine, we must go. Those fools who run my theater will be missing you.
I've received a letter.
Dear Madame Giry.
What a charming gala. Christine was, in a word, sublime. We were hardly bereft when Carlotta left. On that note, the diva's a disaster. Must you cast her when she's seasons past her prime?
I as well. Dear Raoul, just a quick reminder, my salary's not been paid. Send it care of the ghost by return of post. No one likes a debtor, so it's better if my orders are obeyed. Who would have the gall to send this?
These are both signed
Opera Ghost.
Where is he? Your precious patron, where is he?
What is it now?
I have your letter, a letter which I rather resent. You dare to tell me that this is not the letter you sent?
And what is it I meant to have sent?
Your days at the Opera Populaire are numbered. Christine Daae will be singing on your behalf tonight. Be prepared for a great misfortune should you attempt to take her place.
Miss Daae has returned. I thought it was best she was alone. She needed rest.
May I see her?
No, monsieur. She will see no one.
Will she sing?
Here, I have a note.
I have now sent you several notes of the most amiable nature, detailing how my theater is to be run. You have not followed my instructions. Therefore, I shall give you one last chance. Christine Daae has returned to you. Therefore, you will cast Carlotta as the page boy and put Miss Daae in the role of countess. Should these commands be ignored, a disaster beyond your imagination will occur. I remain your obedient servant, Opera Ghost.
Christine! It's all a ploy to help Christine!
This is insane. Can you believe this? I can't put Christine through this. Miss Daae will be playing the page boy, the silent role. Carlotta will be playing the lead.
Oh, would you not rather have your precious little ingenue?
Signora, no. The world wants you.
Yes, I, the prima donna. My song shall live again.
She has heard the voice of the angel of music.
For if his curse is on the opera, we are all doomed.
Wonderful, he makes me laugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. Rehearsal will continue in 10 minutes' time.
Raoul, I've been there. It was world of unending night. Can I ever escape that monstrous face?
What you heard was a dream and nothing more.
Yet in his eyes, all the sadness in the world. Those pleading eyes that both threaten and adore.
Christine.
Christine.
Say you love me.
You know I do.
Love me. That's all I ask of you.
No! I gave you my music, made your song take wing. And now how you've repaid me, with denial and betrayal. Christine, you will curse the day you did not do all that the phantom asked of you. A few instructions then, just before rehearsal starts. Carlotta must be taught how to act And my manager must learn that his place is in an office, not the arts. As for our star, Miss Christine Daae, if pride will let her return to me, her teacher, then let her. Your chains are still mine, Miss Daae. You belong to me.
Madame Giry, where is he taking her?
Please, monsieur, I know no more than anyone else.
That's not true.
Monsieur, don't ask. There have been too many accidents.
Accidents? Please, Madame Giry, for all our sakes.
Very well. It was years ago. There was a traveling fair in the city. I was very young.
Go on.
Battered, beaten. I saved him from that horror. He has known nothing else of life since then except this opera house. It was his playground and now his artistic domain. He's a composer and a magician. A genius, monsieur.
But clearly, Madame Giry, genius has turned to madness. And he has Christine.
Wandering child, so lost, so helpless.
Angel, father, friend, or phantom.
Have you forgotten your angel? You resist.
Angel of music, I denied you. My protector.
Do not shun me. Come to your angel.
Christine, whatever you believe, this man, this thing is not your father. You can put your opera on in my opera house, but let me have the girl.
No, Raoul, wait, not like this!
Now, let it be war upon you both.
Raoul, I'm frightened. Don't put me through this ordeal by fire. He'll take me again, I know.
He is nothing but a man. Yet while he lives, he'll haunt us till we're dead.
Let my opera begin. Say you'll share with me one love, one lifetime. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Christine, that's all I ask of
Liar, liar! Oh my God!
Ruined, ruined!
Let me go! Let me go!
Down once more to the dungeons of my black despair. Down we plunge to the prison of my mind.
Track down this monster.
He must be found.
Hand at the level of your eyes.
At the level of your eyes.
At the level of your eyes.
Have you gorged yourself at last in your lust for blood? Am I now to be prey in your lust for flesh?
That fate which condemns me to the joys of the flesh. This infection which poisons our love. This face which earned a mother's fear and loathing.
Christine?
This face holds no horror for me now.
Christine?
It's in your soul that the true distortion lies.
Christine!
Wait, I think, my dear, we have a guest. Sir!
Do what you like, only free her. Have you no pity?
Your lover makes a passionate plea.
Please, Raoul, it's useless.
I love her. Does that mean nothing? Show some compassion.
The world show no compassion to me. Did you think I would harm her? Why would I make her pay for the sins which are yours? Start a new life with me, Christine. Buy his freedom with your love. Refuse me and you send your lover to his grave. This is the point of no return.
The tears I might have shed for your dark fate grow cold and turn to tears of hate.
Christine,
no!
Please forgive me. I did it all for you and all for nothing.
Too late for turning back. Too late for useless prayers and pity.
Say you love him and my life is over.
No point in fighting. For either way you choose, you cannot win.
He has to win.
So do you end your days with me, or do you send your lover to his grave?
I make a lighting to save me.
You are past the point of no return.
Angel of music!
Christine, for pity's sake, say no. Don't throw your life away for my sake.
Angel of music!
You're past the point of no return.
Angel of music, release me from the prison of your mind. The weight of your soul is not mine to bear. Find your humanity within yourself, not me.
Track down this monster.
He must be found.
Revenge.
This man must never go free.
Oh, take him. Forget me. Forget all of this. Leave me alone. Go now, Christine. I love you.
Say you'll share with me one love, one lifetime.
Say the word and I will follow you.
Share each day with me, each night, each morning. You alone can make my song take flight. It's over now, the music of the
Christine. Night!
night.
Point.
We're here with Coach Becky Stair and our students Emma and Cole. First of all, congratulations. That was so awesome. I think I'm going to be humming the songs all day. Becky, what's it like working with a big group of students rather than just one or two individuals?
Well, at York, we have a really strong tradition of theater, and that carries over into our speech program. So within OID, which I get to work with these 5 talented kids, it is like a small, performance in 15 minutes. So they continuously rise to the occasion, becoming all of the characters I asked them to become.
Yeah, they were really great. You have some great students. Cole, why did you pick Phantom of the Opera?
Well, it's really just we're trying to find the best scripts we can do, and Phantom of the Opera is something that everyone knows. And if you walk into a room and start singing, the other kids are going to get nervous. So.
Emma, you're doing a lot up there. You're singing, you're acting, you're flopping between characters. How do you do all that in just a 10 to 15 minutes?
It was really all about finding the differentiations that all of the characters could have. I luckily did humorous as well, so I already kind of knew what to do there, but.
Awesome. And Cole, what's your favorite part of the performance?
I really like the climax when the Phantom has me in the rope. It's a really powerful moment, and it's a lot of fun to do.
Great. Well, great job again. Thank you again for being here. Our last category is entertainment.
Entertainment is kind of like organized stand-up comedy. You write your own speech. It's typically funny, but you have posters, boards, and 3 points. But my favorite part about entertainment is the people you meet in it.
With his winning Class B entertainment speech, here's Ben Droz from Columbus Lakeview High School performing Narcissism is Good.
Hi, I'm Ben Droz and I'm a narcissist. Okay, obviously none of you have ever been to AA before. You're supposed to say, hi, Ben. Okay, now that we've started recovery, I'm literally perfect. I mean, do you see this flow? The way it shines and falls freely, as if sculpted by the hands of God. This flow should be the definition of charm, of beauty, of perfection. Now, I know what you may be thinking. How could I, the incarnation of superiority, be so enticing? Well, let me take you back to my roots. As crazy as it may be, I wasn't born this perfect. I was made. Wait, no, actually, I was born this perfect. Perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect height. My inspiration, Jerry Maguire. I'm basically Tom Cruise. My twin plays an all-too notorious sports agent narcissist who I learned through his mistakes that not everyone has your best interests at heart, so you must always look out for yourself. While not everyone may agree with this concept, psychologist Dr. Costas Papagiorgio, who I can only imagine is Italian, argues that negative responses to narcissism could overlook the positive benefits to the narcissists themselves. Indeed, Hollywood's depiction of narcissism, coupled with our own deeply rooted beliefs, have corrupted the idea of just how good narcissism can be. To truly understand how great it is to be a narcissist, we must first look in a mirror at what a narcissist is. Then we will shower ourselves with the benefits, before finally combing through how to represent yourself as a narcissist in society. To begin, we must first understand what makes a narcissist a narcissist. As I strive each day to achieve my goal of becoming the next Jerry Maguire, I know that step one is acknowledging that, like him, I am a narcissist. I know this because 1, I love myself, and 2, Mayo Clinic defines narcissism as a mental condition in which people engage in risky behavior, have an inflated sense of themselves, a deep and excessive need for attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Now, I know what you may be thinking, yikes, this guy needs to get off his high horse. But narcissism is actually much more common than you realize. Okay, I'm just assuming everyone watching is really enjoying this photo, so. Approximately 0.5% of the US population, or 1 in 200 people, has the disorder, and about 75% of those people are men, as found by Dr. Anna Perkin. So before you guys go judging me, we're gonna take a little narcissism test, right here, right now. Then, feel free to judge away. My perfect ego has withstood the wrath of a bad hair day. And trust me, nothing can be worse than that. The following questions ranked me a 36 out of 40 on a narcissism test. And to say I've never been more proud of a test score in my life would be an understatement. May you all, like me, achieve my eliteness on this test. Without further ado, think of the following questions in your own life as I offer my own explanations. Question number 1. I like to look at myself in the mirror. Yes, in fact, I spent 2.5 hours perfecting my hair this morning. What time did I wake up to do that? 3:30 a.m., and obviously, it was worth it. Question number 2. I get upset when people don't notice how I look. Yes. So I've been in the studio for about 3 hours now, and not one person is complimenting me on my suit or my hair. Question number 3. I like to be complimented. Yes. Feel free to acknowledge my dapper attire after the round is over. And finally, question number 4. I like to show off my body. Duh. At first, I hesitated with this question, but then I realized, hey, I'm Tom Cruise tall. I got nothing else to worry about. If you answer no to any of these questions, I feel sorry for you. I actually couldn't care less. I have no empathy. But it is unfortunate for you to not be part of the narcissist community next to me and my pal Jerry. Fortunately for you, I'm gonna be recruiting you to our team by giving you the benefits of being a narcissist. The first benefit is an improvement in mental health. It is proven that people who have high levels of narcissism also tend to be mentally tougher and have lower rates of depression and stress than their more humble peers, according to a 2019 CNBC article. Due to the reported high self-esteem, narcissists maintain a sense of well-being with low levels of depression, anxiety, and loneliness, with a mental toughness that helps them overcome rejection or disappointment. Like the disappointment everyone competing against me this year felt when they got last. Additionally, another benefit is an improvement in confidence and a necessity in self-investment. I mean, who doesn't love a good self-care routine? You think this hair got its way on its own? No. Ours is self-love, dedication, and commitment to the greatest investment I could ever make. Myself. As one of my favorite authors and fellow narcissists once said, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Oscar Wilde. And judging from the flow and wisdom, he must be a great uncle of mine or something. And finally, show me the money. My God. Show me the money. No, not show you the money, show me the money. If you've never seen Jerry Maguire, you probably didn't misunderstand that reference. But one of the reasons Jerry Maguire is able to be such a successful narcissist is because his career is successful. Because we narcissists are always right, we can be challenging to work with. However, we can easily attract a following of people and more likely to receive promotions and often get paid more. So I'm telling you, all you have to do is love yourself and know that no one else is better. And you have more money, more confidence, and are more likely to get... Okay, my speech coach wouldn't allow me to say an inappropriate joke today, but I'm usually the first to engage in risky behavior, including actually saying the joke at state finals. So step 1 is engaging in risky behavior. And if you don't want to take it from me, take it from Dr. Rochelle Perper, who argues that risk-taking helps build our confidence. So get a little risky, live on the edge, and you will see for yourself the thrill that follows. Just like when my speech coach read the ballots at state finals. Second, when one is striving to be depicted as a narcissist in society, you must be overconfident and have an inflated sense of yourself. Let me give you an example. Every morning, I wake up. I look at myself in the mirror and I say, Ben, you are the epitome of perfection. You are Tom Cruise tall. You have the hair that men in transport commercials dream of. You're just so. By practicing a simple self-love mantra every morning, you will slowly start to see for yourself what an overconfident, superior narcissistic view can do for you. And finally, to fully emerge yourself as a full-blown narcissist, you must show no empathy for others. Listen, guys, I'm just gonna break it to you real quick. I've already won state. I've yet to lose this year, and it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So although you may be feeling a little down about yourselves, just know that I'm a senior this year, so you have next year. Wow, what a journey we just took together. I know we're gonna leave this room better people because I just gave you the greatest advice you will ever receive. There is no doubt after this speech, narcissism is good. Thanks to my idol, Jerry Maguire, I've been able to see just how valuable narcissism is in my life. And by looking in the mirror at what a narcissist is, then showering ourselves with the benefits, before finally combing through how to represent yourself as a narcissist in society, you too could see how your life will forever be changed. So without further ado, hi, I'm Ben Drozen, I'm a narcissist. Welcome to the club.
We're here with Ben and his coach, Amy Eisenminger. Ben, first of all, awesome job. It was really fun to watch you. And I have to say, I love your suit and your tie, and your hair really does look amazing today.
Thank you, thank you.
How did you come up with this topic?
Well, one of my friends who's a speech alumni said that he really liked my hair, and he wanted me to do a speech on narcissism about it because he thought that'd be funny, and we kind of just rolled with it.
And how many times did you have to watch Jerry Maguire some research for this performance?
Only just one time. That was enough.
Amy, what was it like working with Ben on this performance?
Yeah, it's been really fun. Sitting down at the beginning of the season and writing it with Ben, we had a lot of good laughs writing the speech, and then just seeing him perform it so well and have such great success is really rewarding as a coach to see someone do well, but also have fun while they're doing it. So.
Yeah, it was great to watch. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for being here today with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, 10 great performances from some really talented students. If you miss any or want to watch it again, go to nebraskapublicmedia.org. I'm Erica Nett. Thanks for watching NSAA Speech Championships Best of the Best.